Woohoo! Just look at it go. What is that thing? That's the kind of reaction we like to see. We call it an orbital remote-controlled car, and it's something we're developing here at this institute. There aren't any plans to actually make a consumer version of this thing, though. Not yet, anyway. Wow, I had no idea the institute was doing research like that.
I got a bad feeling about this.
That's right. Only Machias gets arrested. Well, Eustace gets put under house arrest when he's in his hometown. Whoa, Crow, what are you doing here? And you are? You can't be serious. You couldn't have just forgotten me. You're the one who gave me that blade deck. I frittered away pretty much the entirety of last year playing. And now that you're here, you're not getting away until you played a game against me. Come on, let's go.
I got a bad feeling about this.
So do I. Right, you were the guy I ran into when I came here with Toa, George, and Angelica forever ago. I seem to recall challenging you to a game for kicks and winning in seconds. Long time no see, man. You up for round 2? You do remember that we're here for a field study and not a blade tournament, right? I'll never forget how humiliating it was to lose to you. But that's why it's not going to happen again. This time I'll be the one who beats you. Bring it on if you think you've got what it takes. He's really into this. Okay, I just wanted to see if he actually, would challenge me. So here's the Ruhr Institute of Technology. And I've changed over to Elisa. So this is the Ruhr Institute of Technology. We had a request from someone here. That's why we came here. It's a famous university and a research institute. Lots of the country's brightest technicians studied here, and a lot of them get scooped up by the Reinford Company after graduation. They've offered George some pretty sweet deals to encourage him to apply after he graduates. Angelica's orbital bike was originally being researched here, too. I think George has mentioned that before. It sounds like they got all kinds of cool stuff in development here. What are we waiting for? Let's go in. Right. Yes, please, let us go in the building. Alright. So if you apply Euler's theorem here, then this becomes this. Sorry, can you not bother me right now? I'm busy. Oh, what a nice guy. So that was the Courageous, huh? Professor Thompson's been working on it for a while now, right? Yeah, he was even on board during its maiden flight collecting more data. I'm surprised Professor Schmidt wasn't involved with its development, though. Woohoo! Not me. Some other project has been taking up all of his time lately. Apparently he was busy researching combat links or something until recently. Sounds way too complicated for me, though. Once Professor Schmidt starts researching something, that's it. He just tunes out the world around him. He won't be researching anything else anytime soon. Oh, here's the guy. Huh. Judging by those uniforms, you're all students, aren't you? They look kind of familiar, too. We're students from Thor's military academy? Are you the Rato who sent in a request for us? Ah, so you're the students from Thor's. Of course, of course. No wonder your uniform looks so familiar. That's the academy George goes to. Yes, yes he does. To be honest, I'm a bit uneasy about leaving this to you. But you look pretty strong, so hopefully it'll work out. I figures George would have connections here. Still, gonna go out on a limb and guess that you're worrying about how well we'd clean up in a fight? Must be a dangerous job. Kinda, yeah. Let me explain what I'd like you to do. You've heard of Professor Schmidt, right? Yeah, we just did. The name does sound familiar, yeah. Professor G. Schmidt, I believe. He was one of the leading disciples of Professor Epstein, the father of the orbital revolution. He's a really famous scholar in his own right. He followed in Epstein's footsteps, and his work helped popularize orbments. Indeed, he's generally spoken of as something of a living legend. Professor Epstein also had two other famous students, Professor Russell and Professor Hamilton. Their names tend to crop up together quite often in the orbital sciences. Okay, what do you want us to do? Yeah, I doubt there's a researcher out there who isn't familiar with those three and their work. Beside that, though, if I'm remembering right, Professor Schmidt also serves as president of the Ruhr Institute of Technology. You don't say. I wasn't aware that what he was doing these days. Yeah, he's continuing his research here at the Institute. He can be pretty difficult to deal with at the best of times, though, so he doesn't really do public appearances these days. Gotta say, you seem pretty well informed. Is he an acquaintance of yours, Elisa? Not as such, but he's apparently an old friend of my grandfather's. It's because of the orbital technology the professor brought back to the Empire that the Reinford Company grew so large. At least that's what I've been told. So that's how the Empire's largest company hit the big time, huh? So you're Chairman Irina's daughter, huh? Tech must run in the Reinford blood. You might not know, but the professor's been involved with the development of the Arcus units and the orbital staves, too. Yes, we know. Whoa, seriously? I did have a feeling that might be the case. You knew that. The tech used in the Arcus units seems more advanced than anything I've seen in the standard issue battle ordnance made by the Foundation. And it sounds like the only person who could make something like that would be this professor then? Sounds more like a wizard by the minute. The reason I started with this little history lesson is because this request comes from Professor Schmidt himself. Ooh, that's why we're getting a history lesson. I work as one of his assistants, so I put in the request on his behalf. Anyway, I feel like I'm talking your ear off, so let's move on to explaining what it is I'd like you to do. Thank you. By all means. Okay then, I want you to enter the Sashan iron mine and bring me back a small quantity of a minor metal called linium. What's a minor metal? It's a category of rare metals often used in technological development, but I've never heard of linium. I'm not surprised. It's not especially well known, even for a minor metal. However, it's got some exciting potential applications in a new airship engine that's currently in development. That'd be quite the mechanical coup. Kind of makes me think of the Courageous. Oh, it's actually related to that, as chance would have it. In addition to the Reinford Company, both the Foundation and the ZCF were involved in the development of the Courageous. Our university's participating too, which has gained us access to all sorts of new technology as a result. Right now, we're working day and night to see if we can push what's possible with an airship engine. Okay, so now we know why you guys want the linium for. But why us? Well, extremely small quantities of linium have been extracted from one of the mine's tunnels. But a few years ago, dangerous monsters started taking up residence right in the very tunnel. And in the end, it had to be sealed off before we could obtain a large enough sample to run tests on. That story does sound familiar now that I think about it. And if the ore doesn't have any proven applications, it won't be easy to get permission to access that tunnel. That's where we stand at present. If the professor were to petition the army, there's a possibility they'd go and secure the necessary sample. But like I said earlier, he's not the easiest man to deal with. He doesn't want to ask anyone for assistance, not even the army. Sounds like a royal pain in the ass. I can't say I'm not concerned about these purported monsters in the mine, but if we can make a contribution to the advancement of science, we might even see linium pop up in textbooks someday. Yeah, I think we should help him out. I do know the mine chief, so if we explain why we want to head into that tunnel, I'm sure he'll let us in. Oh really? That'd be a huge help. Still, it's an older tunnel, and I doubt it's been retrofitted to the most modern safety standards. Make sure you're really careful when you go in there. Of course, precaution is the best kind of caution. To get to the mine, we'll need to leave town through the eastern exit on the lower level and take the mountain path north. Okay, let's get going.